So Brodie Waters, who runs IMAC Consulting and ESPN's roster management system, forecasts that Baker Mayfield's new contract will be 5 years, $206 million. So roughly $41 million a year. $152.6 million over the next 3 years, $30 million signing bonus, $143 million in total guaranteed money. That structure allows for best cap flexibility, according to Waters, for the Browns, and gets Mayfield in that $40+ million a year range. And Mac, those sound like reasonable numbers to me. You know, $41 million a year, and you're guaranteeing $143 million. I think that's pretty accurate and pretty fair value.
Yeah, and especially too, you mentioned the 3 years where it's $150 million. You know, that's actually kind of, you know, on par for what we've seen from some of the other contracts where, you know, Josh Allen, you know, he only has 1 year that really spikes, but, you know, he has a couple other ones that are a little higher in the middle. So, you know, for him, it kind of helps balance out the cap hit. And for Baker Mayfield, you know, next year you have that already guaranteed at $18 million. So this would kick in after the fact. So the way I look at it, you know, this bumps it up a little bit, but at the same time, you know, those 3 years where you're looking at $150 million, honestly, I think that's pretty solid and pretty fair because, again, you know, you're having that cap number rise and rise and rise. So if you're having 150 of that $206 million already hit in the first 3 years, okay, fine. Then by the back end of that contract, all right, we can actually be able to, you know, have these extensions that might be a little bit more backloaded, you know, compared to Baker's, which would be front loaded in this case. So I think that would help when it comes to cap flexibility and would help for, you know, keeping some of these other guys like Denzel Ward, among others that you're going to have to, you know, extend and re-sign here in the coming years.
And I keep saying it, the price of an NFL quarterback is not going down. It's like a sports car. They're always going up. So from the Browns' perspective, I get the thought process. You want to see more, but Baker Mayfield is their quarterback, and I'm sure Andrew Berry and the Browns are trying to figure a way to get that extension done and get Mayfield thinking about winning and advancing and doing the things that they need to do on the field.
Yeah, and I think, too, that both parties in this case, you know, you mentioned it, you know, the fact that Baker Mayfield wants to be here, the Browns want Baker here. So at this point, I feel like that they're going to try to get this done. And, you know, eventually, I do think that this will, you know, end up, I don't think it'll end up becoming a distraction per se, but at the same time, I think that both parties want to have this done and, you know, done well enough for Baker Mayfield and for both sides to be able to get this done and move forward with the team and not necessarily cause a distraction going forward, at least when it comes to the team.
Yeah, a fair deal. You know, that's what a fair deal for the guy that you have identified as your quarterback.